Hey, howdy everyone, Tony here. I hope you're doing well. Today I will be utilizing the TDU method of analysis to look for potential setups in the charts. Let's see what we can find. First, if you want to learn more about the TDU method, check out the site. If this video is helpful or you learned something new, please like and subscribe to stay updated with my analysis. Now let's dive into it. Hey everybody, Tony here. I hope you're doing well. Just want to do a quick look here at Bitcoin. Hopefully it'll be quick, but I want to start out here on the weekly and take a look at where we are in this count. The first thing I noticed, if we start even way back here, a sharp moves down, correction, sharp move down, correction, sharp move down. All the corrections are pointing up. Okay, that changes over here where we get swift move up, correction, swift move up, correction. I think we're still putting in swift moves up and corrections down. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that it's going to continue on. It's not a for sure thing, but right now on the PA side of things, you're still getting fives up and threes down. Again, that could be getting a little bit questionable up in here because we are going sideways. And since these are weekly candles, we've been zoomed in, at least I have, on all this and looking at it a little more dramatically because we're zoomed in and these moves do seem a lot bigger, and they are big moves. But for right now on the zoomed out, version here on the weekly, we're still looking pretty good. We're still holding levels and fibs and everything that we should be looking for in Elliott Wave, if I have this count correct. Now, as a flat 2, should be looking for a sharp 4, which I think we have fulfilled that right now. The other variation that could be happening here is that this is just a wave of something and that we're doing some more sideways. So that would still be the bullish correction that we're looking for before we get a move up. I still have this as my primary box of confluence here for potential wave 5. If everything plays out technically, when we get deeper down, dig down into this, we'll see where we're at as far as the count up goes. But for right now out here, I just wanted to show what I think about the PA here, that fives up and threes down is still good to go. We haven't broken any structure or anything like that yet to the downside, so I think we're still looking good. Now, when we start breaking up here, that's when I start questioning things again. Right now, an impulse wave up from here could be one of the more bearish takes, at least in the short term. Because if this is a wave 4 of the 3, then we're going up for the wave 5 of the 3. And what happens after a wave 5? We get a correction. So we'll move up past this in an impulsive or motive fashion. We're going to be looking for a correction back down for the wave 4, potentially of this larger degree here. Again, we don't have any confirmation that this is an impulse up yet. It's checking a lot of boxes at this moment. But until we get a wave 4 to offset this, I'm still weary as to what this could be, if this is going to be some zigzag up. Still keeping that in the back of my mind, I think the more likely and probable is that this is an impulse up. And I still am pretty confident, or I think this wave 4 is offsetting this wave 2. And we're going to get one more break of structure here for a move up. But we'll get a little bit deeper down into this as far as what I think is going on in this next move up. So one other thing that I noticed too is that if we look at the EWO down here, when we had the last high, last time we ran up to the all-time high here at 69, we got some divergence here on the EWO. So so that was a tell there that momentum was dying out and that there's a potential for a rollover. So this is all hindsight, but right now the deviation back there was a tell that something was going on and that this wasn't as strong of a move as a lot of people were suspecting. So EWO, we got some divergence here. We don't have any divergence yet. If we do get a break up here and we get a little hump there, I mean, it's typical in a wave 4 or in a wave 5. So in a wave 5, we want to see a little bit of a less of momentum here than the wave 3 as divergence, saying that the impulse is coming to an end or getting close to an end there. So that's one thing we're going to be looking for, and this is another reason I think we're still in the three wave at this point, because we have a one here. Let me just move down here. So on this, we have the one here, we get a dip down for the two, and 1, 2, 3, and we're coming down for a 4 here before hitting up the 5 with some divergence, and then heading down for a wave 4, which has to come down to this median line and sweep that center line there for confirmation or clues that a fourth wave is in before we get the fifth wave of the final degree up. So I hope that makes sense. Right now, I think we're still looking okay on this larger degree here. We're not getting any super big red flags. The fact that we're going sideways a little bit here is concerning, but corrections are still pointing down and we're getting the swift moves up still. So that's all I got on the weekly. Down here on the daily, I just want to go over the EWO here again, or the awesome indicator. So right now we can see the typical wave formation here of the oscillator for an impulse wave. We got the one here, the 3 has the most momentum. We get a dip below the median line here for the wave 4, and then we get some divergence on the wave 5. We still haven't broken the high, which is where the divergence really comes in. So when this, if we do get another move up to the upside here on Bitcoin itself in the price action, and we get some momentum, a loss of momentum here on the oscillator, and that's indicative that the trend is slowing down and that the momentum is waning. That's pretty typical to see in a wave 5 of an impulse. So first things first, we have to move up beyond the high over here. And once that happens, we'll look to this to see how we're looking on the EWO and if we get divergence. So far, it's looking good for it. So I would suspect that's what would happen here if we are dealing with the wave 5 of an impulse. Now, it's not a definite, just like anything in trading, it's not a for sure thing. This could just be the wave 1. As you know, we pop the top, and that's just the wave 1 of wave 5. And then we're going to get a retracement back down before we get another move up for an extension in the fifth wave, let's say. Right now, we're not getting a buildup of volume or anything like that, or momentum. So that's remains to be seen yet, but that is a possibility. But for right now, it's just looking like an average, ordinary, everyday impulse to me, just based off the indicators here and the price action. So now that I've zoomed in a little bit, so the last time I was looking at this as a possibility that we could break this level at 65,523, and that this could be an impulse up. But if we break this, I was going to start looking for some other counts in confluence as far as it being a corrective wave up or a diag or something like that. Turns out at the end of the day that we did not break the level that I was looking for, and we got this move up. So right now, just looking at it, I think this still looks good as an impulse up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We broke out of this potential triangle, and then we came back to test the trend line here, and we got a little bounce up. We can see right here, we do have a bit of resistance. I want to see it break up above that first at some point here to give me confirmation that we're heading up for further upside. So on Friday, we weren't even able to breach this high here, let alone the all-time high. I was hoping that the news would push us up, at least get us out of here and finish the impulse up and see what happens from there. But turns out it was time for the market to dump, and that's what happened here. So we still have this level here that we were watching. I think I was mentioning it last week in the video, but definitely in the Discord where we were watching this, as it has rejected from this level several times, that this could be another rejection area if we didn't get the pop up. So nevertheless, it did dump down. Again, I think we still look like this could be a 1 up, 1, 2, and then we're still going to finish this and maybe an extended fifth wave. Now we have to look at the 1 and 3 here, which I like better as a zigzag, but it could be because there's a potential extension coming. So right now, this looked good as a zigzag because of the fibs and the geometry here. If I put this on, see it hit the 1272, which I don't have a marker for yet, but it did hit the 172 here. Usually when you're looking for extensions, the 1 and the 3 are going to be pretty close in length. So maybe this is going to be an extension in the wave 5 here that might get us up to this level. Now, of course, we got to break this whole area here first, this all-time high, this level at 71,800-ish before that's confirmed. But if we end up putting up a move up from here, this was the one of the 5-2, and that'll get us into the area of interest here up in the 80,000 area. Now, coming back to all this, I don't want to go too deep into it, but again, depending on how this prints, it's going to be another one of those things that is this just some double zigzag up? We're going to have to see how the displays itself to us, but if we do head up like that, I mean, it's a possibility, and we'll just have to see if we can find some confluence here. If this does come up in a zigzag fashion like this, or if it comes up as an impulse and goes into this area, I think it's still a good idea to consider a short. Maybe a good idea to consider that the move's done, at least in the short term, before we get more of a move up. And I just want to throw this on here real quick. So right now, again, if this is some A wave down here for in a flat, and we get a B wave up, 382 is right there again. So this adds to the confluence as well in this area. We're just going to have to see if this move up comes up and breaks the all-time high and goes up to that area, how we do it to gauge what's going on in the PA and in the count. So at the end of the day here on the daily, I really want to see us move up past the all-time high. Obviously, that'd be the best for the bulls in my bank account. So a move up here would be great. If we roll over from here, I'm at a loss as to what this could be again. Flat coming in, I could agree with that. But then what does this belong to? At some point, we have to look at this and say, okay, is this one, this is a 2, and then this is the 4 of an impulse. Again, if we're getting ready to put in some expanded wave 5th or wave 5, it could all fit. But we're going to have to wait and see. So right now, the invalidation level for this impulse up is still going to be 65, still going to be 65, 500. So if it comes down and break that, we'll actually finally get some clarity on either this is a completed impulse or it wasn't an impulse at all. So that's one level to keep an eye on for a bit of clarity. You still have to break the inducement level here. So some pivots have to break for me to get a little bit more clear as to what's going on, if the impulse is complete or not. So that's it on the day. Let's go down to the 4-hour. So down here on the smaller time frame, you can see that this is just a huge mess, in my opinion. This could be a couple things, a couple different ways. This could have been a triangle. I've seen some people do that. I've seen some people have this as a zigzag up, and we're going down for a flat, all of which I think are good possibilities. At the end of the day, we can get as creative as we want, but this isn't super clear, at least to me. But I'm pretty smooth brained. So what I'm going to do here is just sit and wait. I know that this area here plays as resistance, and then I'll be looking for how we play out from here, because since this move was so swift, it's really depends on what this whole thing was. If this is a technical move here, this is a swift move. So we'd have to consider that this could just correct up to a level here, and then we end up moving back down again. It all depends on how creative you get in here and what you think this mess is. For me, I don't have 100% clarity on it, so I won't be doing any things trading wise from this level, or just to keep things 100. I'm not 100% on what this is. So if it's a flat, we're going to see a move down, sweep the lows, and then I think this area down here is still a good spot to look. If you think this impulse is complete, and then we're moving down for like correction already, maybe this was a truncation. I think on Binance or something, we did breach the high a little bit. So if this is a completed impulse up, we're looking for a correction down. So we get the move down here, correction up, and then we'd be looking for like even a sweep of these lows. We'd be looking at least for the golden zone to keep things ideal. So if this was it and we're heading down, again, the main area that I was super hyper focused on last week comes back into play here. This is going to be my main level here. if we come back down to 6,500. So if we start breaking this, I think that's a little bit suspicious. Again, we'll have to see how the PA prints coming down, but if this is an impulse complete and we got a little bit of a truncation here, at least on Coinbase, we're looking for a larger retracement down before a continuation up. If you think this is some flat, I mean, it's up to you if you think that this flat is offsetting this. Again, we're getting deep here as far as what to expect for a wave 4 in an impulse. We're breaking the channel there and getting a little bit longer in time. If we go back to my potential expanded wave 5 idea, we're going to move up here and keep things moving up and maybe extend in the 5th. So that's still a possibility. All right, so down here on the 4-hour, this is what I'm looking for in the near future here. It's all going to depend on this area, this golden zone area here, and how we react to this. If we react here in a zigzag, which it looks like it's forming now, we head down to lower lows, then I'm going to be looking for at least a sweep of the 67 area here. I'm going to be looking for us to move back into this area between 65 and 67-ish area. But we'll have to see how that prints when we get there. If we happen to blast up here and break this high at 61 or at 71, then I'll be looking for a retrace back down. Right now, this dump and all this stuff is a little bit unclear to me, to be honest. So I'm not going to get too over leveraged in anything at this point. I'm going to look for a little bit more clarity before I do anything on the leverage side or with high leverage. So those are my two levels here, and that's what I'm looking at in the hard right edge. So those are my thoughts on Bitcoin. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know. Please like and subscribe. Show me some love. Thanks for watching. Trade safe, trade clarity. Later.